everyone, ready to explore the wild world of social media. It's a jungle out there, but that's why we're here, right? To be your guides. Exactly. We're going to break down on those popular platforms like a cheat sheet for navigating the social media scene in 2023. Think of it as our deep dive, going deep into this Chapter 3 overview of popular social media platforms. We're going to cover it all, from the big names to the up-and-comers. Ooh, I love a good deep dive. And I hear there are some surprises in store. Definitely some things you might not expect. Like, did you know one platform is basically a digital mood board? A digital mood board. Okay, you've got my attention. Let's jump in. All right, let's start with the OG, the one that's been around forever, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, the granddaddy of them all. But is it still relevant these days? And isn't it kind of getting a bit, well, old? That's an interesting question. Because, Facebook still has billions of users, like a massive amount. Yeah, but the demographics are definitely shifting. Shifting how? Like, and is hanging out there now. Well, the biggest group is 25 to 34-year-olds. So it's not exactly the teen hangout it used to be. So not where I'd go to learn the latest TikTok dance then. Probably not the best place for that, yeah. But here's the thing. Facebook is still a powerhouse for businesses, especially with targeted advertising. Makes sense. You can reach a lot of different people on there. What are its features? Are those still a draw for businesses? Absolutely. Facebook's got a lot to offer. Pages, groups, events. Think of it as a Swiss Army knife for businesses and organizations. Oh, yeah, I get it. It's like you can do it all on that. Okay, but let's move on to something a little more visual, a little more, me, Instagram, anyone. Instagram, the land of aesthetics. I love how everything looks so good on there. It's all about the visual, right? It's all about visual storytelling, which is why it's so popular with, creatives, influencers, and brands. So basically my dream world come true. But seriously, who using Instagram these days? Is it mostly younger folks? It definitely skews younger, yeah. Like the 18 to 34 age range. But we're seeing more and more older users joining too. Interesting. It's like it's branching out. I do love all the new features they keep adding, like stories and reels and IGTV. Yeah, they definitely keep things fresh, and that's important in the social media game. Totally. Okay, buckle up, because I think it's time to talk about the platform where things move at the speed of light. Twitter, yeah. Real-time communication central. It's all about the NOW. I know. Sometimes I feel like I can't keep up with the draw bear. Well, it's the place to be for breaking news, instant updates, that kind of thing. Celebrities, politicians, journalists, they're all on there. So if you want to know what's happening in a world like right this second, you go to Twitter, pretty much. And if tweet can go global in like seconds, yeah, the power of going viral. Wow. Okay, maybe we need to take a deep breath and switch gears to something a little calmer, a little more professional. What about LinkedIn? LinkedIn, the place where we put out our professional ads. All right, time to network. So it's like a giant digital resume, right? Yeah, you could say that. It's all about careers, professional development, making those virtual handshakes. Okay, I gotta make sure my profile's looking good. Who hangs out on LinkedIn? Mostly professionals, yeah, I guess. The main age group is like 25 to 54. A lot of recruiters and business leaders are on there too. That's a good point. So if you're serious about your career, you gotta be on LinkedIn. What are the key features? Well, you got profiles, endorsements, recommendations, job postings, the whole shebang. It's like a one-stop shop for all things career-related. All right, let's shake things up again. Time for the platform that's all about short, catchy videos. TikTok. Oh yeah, TikTok. It's taken the world by storm, hasn't it? Totally. I mean, the creativity on it is amazing. That's the thing about TikTok. It's not just about dancing, although there's plenty of that. It's about entertainment, It's short-form video content that grabs your attention and doesn't let go. Sounds like my kind of place. But isn't it mostly for Gen Z? Well, it definitely started with Gen Z and younger millennials, but it's becoming more and more popular with older generations too. Oh, really? So I'm not too old for TikTok after all. Not at all. There's no room for everyone on that. That's good to know. All right, last stop on our whirlwind tour, Pinterest. I think of it as a place to find inspiration, for anything and everything. That's a great way to put it. Pinterest is all about visual discovery. Like you can create boards to curate ideas, whether it's recipes, travel destinations, home decor, whatever you're into. It's like a digital edition board. Yeah, exactly. And it's really popular with women, especially those between 25 and 54. Okay, so that's where I'll find my next DIY project. Probably. But here's the thing. The world of social media never sleeps. Wait, there's more? Always more. There are these new platforms popping up all the time. Okay, spill the tea. Which ones are making waves? Well, there's Be Real and Discord. They're all about authenticity and community, real connections. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Tell me more about Be Real. It's like showing your real self, right? Not the perfectly filtered version of yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's like a breath of fresh air. It prompts you, like at a random time each day, to post a photo of whatever you're doing. No time to stage the perfect selfie, huh? Nope, you only have 2 minutes. And no filters, no editing, just a snapshot of your real life. So it's like embracing the imperfections, totally. Warts and all. It's a reaction to all those curated feeds we see everywhere else. Makes sense. I can definitely see the appeal of that. What about Discord? I thought that was for gamers. It was, originally, like a place for gamers to chat while they played. But it's grown into something much bigger now. Oh, really? Like what? It's become a hub for all sorts of communities, like book clubs, study groups, fam clubs, you name it. So it's like finding your tribe, people who share your interests. Exactly. It's all about connection. And it's super versatile. You can use text, voice, video chat, join public servers, or create private ones. Wow, that's a lot of options. It really shows how social media is changing. Constantly evolving. It is. And it can feel kind of overwhelming at times. All these platforms and trends. Definitely. Like, how do we even keep up? Well, I think the key is to remember we have choices. We get to decide which platforms we use, how we use them, and how much time we spend on them. That's a good point. It's not about being on every single platform. It's about finding what works for us. Exactly. It's about being intentional. Yeah. And maybe that leads us to a bigger question like, what's the overall impact of all this social media on our lives? Yeah, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Right. I mean, on one hand, it's connected us in ways we never imagined. We can stay in touch with people all over the world, discover new communities, build businesses. Yeah, but potentially huge. Think about all the social movements that have gained traction through social media. Exactly. It's given a voice to people who might not have been heard otherwise. But of course, there's a flip side. Yeah, there's the anxiety, the pressure to be perfect, the comparisons, all of that. It's easy to get caught up in the highlight reel and forget that everyone's struggling with something. Yeah, it's like we're comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and that's a recipe for disaster. It is. We gotta remember that social media isn't real life. It's a curated version of reality. That's such a good point. So, how do we navigate this complex world without losing ourselves in it? I think it starts with being mindful, like paying attention to our habits. How much time are we spending online? What kind of content are we consuming? It's like taking a look at our social media diet and making sure it's actually nourishing us. Exactly. If it's not, maybe we need to make some changes. Like unfollowing accounts that make us feel bad, yeah. Or limiting our screen time, be more intentional about who we follow and what we engage with. It's about using social media as a tool, not letting it use us. Exactly. And it's a journey. We're all figuring it out as we go. Speaking of figuring it out, I'm curious about the future of social media. Any predictions? Predictions are always tricky, but there are some interesting trends emerging. Ooh, like what? Give me the inside scoop. But one thing to watch is the integration of virtual reality and augmented reality into social media. Well, wait, so we're talking more than just scrolling through feeds? Like, we're actually going to be in the experience. Exactly. Imagine attending a virtual concert with friends from all over the world, or exploring a museum together through augmented reality. That sounds incredible, like social media is stepping out of the screen and into our lives. Exactly. It's all about creating more immersive and engaging experiences. And that brings us to another big trend, the metaverse. Okay, the metaverse. Everyone's talking about it, but I still don't really get it. Think of it as a persistent virtual world, a network of 3D spaces where people can interact, attend events, create and trade digital assets, even build businesses. Well, so it's like the internet, but instead of just browsing websites, we're actually living in a virtual world. Yeah, you could say that. And a lot of people think the metaverse is going to be the next evolution of social media. It's a fascinating concept, but it also raises a lot of questions, like how do we make sure the metaverse is safe and inclusive? Right. How do we protect our privacy, prevent it from becoming just another advertising platform? Exactly. It's a lot to think about. It is. But it's important to have these conversations as these technologies develop. We need to approach them with both excitement and caution. I agree. We gotta find that balance between embracing innovation and protecting ourselves. Absolutely. Technology is a tool, and it's up to us to use it wisely. Well said. Okay, we've talked about the past, present, and future of social media, but there's one more piece of the puzzle I want to explore before we wrap things up. What's up? The role of social media in shaping our culture and society. I mean, it's everywhere these days. Yeah, it's become so ingrained in our lives, it's hard to imagine the world without it. It's a platform for sharing ideas, shaping opinions, influencing political discourse. Wait, think about how social media has amplified the voices of marginalized communities. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's brought attention to important social issues, even sparked revolutions. It's true. But at the same time, it can be used to spread misinformation, promote harmful stereotypes, incite violence. Yeah, there's a dark side to it for sure. The same tools that connect and empower can also divide and manipulate. It's like we're walking a tightrope between the positive and negative aspects of it all. That's a great way to put it, and that's why critical thinking and media literacy are so important, right? We can't just believe everything we see online. We gotta question things, verify sources. Yeah, exactly. We need to develop our own internal BS detectors for the digital age. Love that analogy. So it's not just about what we consume, it's also about how we consume it. Absolutely. It's about being mindful and critical. Okay, this has been a really thought-provoking conversation. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but also inspired to use social media in a more positive way. I think that's a great takeaway, and it's a perfect segue into the final part, of our deep dive. If there's more MLES, we're gonna get practical. Talk about some tips for navigating this world safely, responsibly, and maybe even joyfully. Bring on the actionable advice. I'm ready. It's time to empower ourselves to be the best digital citizens we can be. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, the past, the present, even the future of social media. But now I'm ready for some practical tips. How do we actually navigate this world in a way that, feels good? That's the million-dollar question, right? And I think it all starts with awareness, like taking a step back and looking at our own habits. You mean like how much time we're spending scrolling, what we're looking at, who we're following? Exactly. How does social media make you feel? Once you have a better understanding of your own habits, you could start making conscious choices. So it's not about quitting social media cold turkey. It's about using it in a way that works for us. Exactly. Setting boundaries. Maybe that means setting time limits on those apps or designating certain times of day as like social media free zones. I like that. Social media free zones. Makes sense. It's like anything else, right? Yeah. Moderation is key. Absolutely. It's all about balance and being selective about what we consume. So unfollowing those accounts that make us feel bad about ourselves. Yeah. And seeking out those that inspire us, educate us, make us laugh. Curating our own little happy place online. Exactly. And remember, it's okay to take breaks. Sometimes we just need to disconnect and reconnect with ourselves and the real world. Like a digital detox. Exactly. Hit that reset button. And when you do engage online, do it with intention. Ask yourself, why am I here? What am I hoping to gain from this? Be mindful of our motivations. I like that, right? Are you here to connect with friends, learn something new, share your creativity, let your purpose guide you? It's so easy to lose sight of that when you're just mindlessly scrolling. It happens to all of us. But with a little awareness, we can reclaim our time and energy. And let's not forget about kindness. Oh, yeah. Being respectful online, remembering as a real person on the other side of the screen. Exactly. Let's treat each other with compassion, just like we would in person. Create a more positive online environment, one interaction at a time. I love that. And don't be afraid to use your voice for good. Social media can be a powerful tool for change. Yeah, we can raise awareness, advocate for causes we believe in. Exactly. Amplify those voices that need to be heard. This has been an incredible journey. We've learned so much about the world of social media, but the biggest takeaway for me is that we have the power to shape our own experience. That's the key. It's not about letting social media control us. It's about using it to connect, learn, and grow. And don't forget about that unfollow button. Never underestimate its power. So true. All right, everyone. Happy scrolling, and until next time, stay curious and stay connected. And most importantly, stay true to yourselves.